So sorry, my last video I did not select the mic that I was using, so my audio did come across a bit weird, but I believe I fixed that, so let's get started. Last episode I left off inside this little wooden house, this little wooden box, I guess, not necessarily a house, but I went out and I was chopping down some trees. I got quite a bit of logs. I ended up killing some mobs because I did go through a night without you. So sorry. But I got some cobblestone as well. I thought I would just get some of those materials off screen because I don't think anybody wants to sit here and watch that. But let's see. Oh, let's see. I believe it's night. Yeah. So I guess you'll be able to see some of the things that we spot at night. I did want to come over here. While I was mining some cobblestone from this area, I found some coal and I didn't want to mine it off screen. I wanted to show you where I found it. So coal is really useful. You can use it as a fuel source, but you can also use it for torches. And torches really help. If you light up an area, mobs don't spawn there. They'll only spawn in the dark, with the exception of like the Enderman, I believe. Those guys just kind of teleport everywhere. But as you notice, there's a creeper. It's dangerous out here at night. So I think I'm just gonna leave the rest of this coal here. I'm gonna just head home so I can sleep through the night because I do not have any armor. I don't have anything like that. But on the way there, I can kill this cow. As I said before, cows are very useful. They will drop meat and they will drop leather. So I kind of like to kill those as I go. That's over there is a spider. So during the day, those are passive mobs. They won't come after you, but at night they will. And these are kind of like one of the most annoying mobs to kill. What I like to do is, if you've seen as I attack things, I usually jump. So I'll jump and I'll strike them. The jumping, that just means that I am doing a critical hit. You can kind of spot that by the little particles coming off. Let's just run past this creeper. You can spot that by the particles coming off of the mob that you're attacking. If you see them coming off, that means that you dealt a critical hit, but that just makes it so that you can kill the mobs faster, which we definitely want to do right now since all I got are stone tools. So here we are, back at the village. I killed a skeleton off screen, and that's where I got that bow that you saw in my inventory. For now, I'm gonna run past them because there's two of them, and those guys will definitely wreck me because I'm just starting out. So let's get this guy out of the bed. Let's sleep through the night, and let's show you one of the game mechanics. So the skeleton. The skeleton is on fire because it turned to daytime, and skeletons and zombies, they will burn in the daylight. Creepers, however, do not, so that is why you got to be careful of those even in the day. If you want to kill one of those, you can do that technique I just did where you hit them and you back up, because if you stand next to them for too long, they'll just blow up. They're like little bombs. But they drop gunpowder, and that can be useful depending on what you want to do. Overall, since we are just starting, I am going to try to stay away from mobs because I do not want to die. But as I was saying before, when you were mining coal, that drops XP, and if you see on like the green line above my hotbar, that is my XP. Right now I have about 6 levels. That's not that many, but you can use that to enchant. And if you look at this bow actually has an enchantment on it. It has a power 2 enchantment. As I said earlier, I got that bow from a skeleton that I killed off screen. I was trying to run back home and I ran into that guy, so I had to kill him. But he dropped the power tube bow, which was pretty cool. It's kind of useless right now because I don't have any arrows, but that's okay. So I want to go and explore and try to find a cool place to set up shop. If I don't find one, like I said in my last episode, I think I am just going to set up shop here. I am going to make a water bucket, as that can help me traverse down these really big mountains that I spawned around. And I'm also going to get a saddle. That will make it so that I can tame a horse, which will also help me in traveling. So to fill up a water bucket, you just come up to a water source and you click on your use button. For me, that's the left trigger. For you, that could be a different thing. You can set it to different things. As you saw, the water replenished. There's a cool unlimited water game mechanic that I'll show you later on. But for now, we got our water bucket, we got some food, and our saddle. And I think we should be good to go. I'm pretty sure I saw a horse. No, that's a llama. I've been seeing horses that spawn around here, so I'll just keep an eye out for a horse as we're exploring, because if we get a horse and we put this saddle on it, then we should be golden. We should be able to ride around pretty quickly. So let's go get the rest of that coal and then see what we can find around there. So, as I mentioned in last episode, I am on the Bedrock version. The different versions of Minecraft, Java and Bedrock, they have different game mechanics. So, if you're playing on Java, some of the things that I am doing, they might not work out for you. I'll try my best to call those out, but I have not played Java in a while, so I am not exactly familiar. But with the Bedrock version, you normally have like the button. Well, I guess it's like a description of the button, not button mapping. You have a description of what the buttons do, and that can come in handy when you don't really know what you're doing. I turn those off because they kind of just get in the way of what I'm trying to see. But let's make some more torches. If you're just hopping into a game, those are usually on your game, just standard. So if you notice, there are those green orbs coming off of these blocks when I mine them. That's XP, that's your experience points. These blocks, the coal, they don't really give off too much XP, but sometimes in a pinch you can use that to get some extra XP. There are other blocks in the game that give you way more. So when we go mining, we will see what we can find. For now, let's just explore the world. Let's see what this beautiful seed has to offer. See, over there, that's a really good spot. I can flatten that out pretty easily, and there's a place to mine. Plus, the Badlands is not a bad view. I love the color. Ooh, and we got some parrots here. Let's see, I'm gonna collect some seeds. You can get seeds by breaking grass like this. That's kind of like one of the first foods that people make in some of their series. They break seeds. You can plant these seeds and you get wheat, which makes bread. And that's what the villagers had a abundance of. But I am going to use these seeds to try to tame this blue bird. There's not really much use to these birds. Okay, that guy does not like me. That one does. Bleh. Alright. These birds don't really have much of a use. It's kind of just like aesthetic, but I wanted to show you the taming mechanic. So, as you saw, when I was feeding him the seeds, one was having like these gray particles come off of him. Let's see if I can get them again. Nope. tame this guy too. They get the gray particles coming off of them, which means that they're not tamed yet. But if you do tame them, they'll give off heart particles, which tells you that they are now your pet or your friend. So with these parrots, now you can see when I walk over them, they come on my shoulder. Sometimes that can be annoying, but for now, I think that's pretty cute. These parrots, they will actually make the sounds of any mobs that are near you. So like say there was a creeper near me, they would make like a hissing sound, which that would help if I really paid attention to the sound in my game, but I don't. So those are kind of useless to me. But this guy right here, this guy, oh my, this is a wandering trader. This guy sometimes offers some pretty cool stuff. Like if I didn't have a pumpkin, but I had an emerald, I can get a pumpkin, and you can start farming pumpkins with that. But we found plenty of pumpkins. You can trade different things. This is a fermented spider eye, and this is a water bottle. Those are fairly easy things to get in the game. A lot of the times though, I usually like to kill these guys because then I get leads off of them. They're carrying their llama around with a lead, and that comes in handy when I'm trying to move around animals, or even like when you have a horse, you can use a lead to tie a horse to a fence post. Then the horse will stay there. But for now, I'll just leave him alone. This right here, this is bamboo. This is a very useful block. If you gather enough bamboo and you gather some string, you can use this block to make scaffolding. And that is very helpful when building. For now, I'm going to just gather that much because you can plant this on the ground and it will grow. It grows like crazy fast. So if you just take the bamboo, you come up to really like any grass block, you put it down, it's going to come off like this, but when it grows one, it's going to look like this. And it'll just grow really tall. Oop. I am so sorry, Barrett. I mean, I kind of only wanted one anyway, so that works. So, this is the Badlands. These places are, in my experience, not the most common, but I love to mine these blocks and use these as like building blocks because you can dye them different colors, and then if you want even fancier blocks, you can throw these in the furnace and you get glazed terracotta, which has a bunch of different pretty patterns. For now, I'm just gonna take one so I can get the crafting recipe. I'm actually gonna come over here and put it back so I don't have to carry it. I think I am actually going to go back home and get a bed. So I will be right back. I am going to go get a bed, and then I will meet you guys back at the wooden box that I built. See you there. Actually, I think I am gonna cut back in really quick to show you these guys. You got some pandas. So pandas are not tameable in the sense of like the way that parrots are, but you can feed pandas bamboo, and they look so cute. They just sit in there with their bamboo and they start munching. These are so cute. Kind of useless, but if you get a panda that, I don't remember what it's called exactly, but they like sneeze, you can get slime balls pretty easily from them. Those are pretty useful when you're doing stuff like redstone. But I'm going to go back to getting a bed. I will meet you at that hut. Be right back. Alright, I am back. So, I went and got myself a bed really quick. I had to use the brown wool that I gathered earlier, but I don't really like the brown bed, so I'm gonna see if I can actually dye this bed yellow. Yeah, perfect. So if you get a flower, you can turn that flower into dye, and you can use that dye to dye different things like your bundle or your bed. In Java, you can actually use dye to dye your leather armor, but I'm pretty sure that's not a thing in in Bedrock Minecraft. So, you know, just little things, little differences. For now, I'm going to head back this way. I'm going to try to see if I can find that flat area I saw before. See if I can find it usable for like a nice base. Like that'd be kind of a prime location for a build. Then I can branch off into the different biomes as I build different houses. So let's swim across. If you are not familiar, I got stuck on that ledge. If you're not familiar with the swimming mechanic, it's pretty simple. You just run while your head is underwater and you start swimming. Very easy. Nothing to worry about. So I'm just gonna swim across here. Oh, and I completely forgot to mention, when you have a pet, like a parrot, a cat, or a bird, or not a bird, a parrot, a cat, or a dog, they'll teleport to you when you move a substantial distance from them. Makes it really easy to transport them when you're moving on land, that is. If you're flying around, which I'm sure we will get to, they don't really like to teleport with you, or even if you're like on a boat. So this area is pretty nice. I feel like it's not as flat as I would want it to be though. So let's keep exploring. Let's see what else this world has to offer. Oh, I think I see a nice spot. I think I do. Let's Tarzan our way through this jungle. Okay. Alright. I got a pretty good view of it. I'm just gonna walk on the ground because I'm sure I'll get there faster. This place looks perfect. Yep. I love what I'm seeing. Yes. Okay, so I believe this is where we will eventually move our base. What is that? You can see that? Oh, there's a villager outpost right there. We're gonna stay away from that for now because that's kind of a hostile area, but I wanted to check out what that column is. I hope it's just like the dirt generating weird. And there's a ravine right here. So if you see on the top left corner of my screen, my character, he's kind of bent over. So I refer to that as crouching. That's what most people do. But you do that by either clicking shift on a keyboard, or while I'm playing on the Xbox and I'm using my controller, I push down my right joystick. I push it straight down, so then my character can walk on the edge and I won't fall off. That's what I use when mining, when looking over cliff sides. Is that a horse? That is. It just makes it easier and safer. But that doesn't seem like too deep of a ravine. Kind of bummed. I like the deeper ones because then you can get to a pretty good mining level pretty quickly. And this is not dirt. This is actually a nether ruin. This is awesome. Look at this guy. So these are magma blocks. Make sure not to walk on them unless you're crouched. This will make it so that you don't take damage, but the moment you uncrouch, you start burning. Oh, and I am 4 hearts. I did not notice that. Let's make sure we eat so we can heal up. As you saw, I filled up my ham bones, and now my hearts are starting to go back up. So this is a nether ruin. These spawn kind of sort of just randomly around the world, but you should be able to use the materials around here to make a nether portal yourself. Sometimes the lava that's here would be used to make the nether portal, and sometimes there's like enough obsidian around, like just scattered around, to finish the nether portal. Then you can use that to go into the nether dimension. We will not be doing that in this video. Maybe soon, but definitely not in this video, as the nether is a very hostile area. We want to be sure to kind of stay away from those for the time being. But this, we got some pretty good loot. We got a lodestone, which is good for exploring. We got some enchanted golden boots. Unbreaking 3. That means the durability gets diminished slower. And feather falling 4. That means that when you fall from somewhere high, you take less damage. That's actually kind of a clutch enchant, but gold boots not necessarily the best unless you're in the nether. So I think we're just gonna leave that as that for now. And yeah, this looks like, wow, even across the way, this is a perfect area. This seed just keeps on giving. So I think once I get a good amount of materials from where I am now, I am gonna move my way over here. This place is kind of perfect. Let's see. Are there any good places to mine over here? Sometimes you'll see the ravines, but sometimes you'll just see like a tunnel that you can explore in the caves. That's what I like about the area that we're at now. You can, there's not much there. You as you saw, like at the village in the, I don't even know what it's called, the acacia biome, I guess that's what I'll call it for now. As you saw at the village over there, there's like literally a cave system right behind the village. So I think maybe this next episode I'm gonna start traveling down there, get some good resources. Wow, look at this, bro, this is perfect. So let's start heading back. I am going to, hold on, we have been recording for too long. I think I'm gonna find some filler stuff to make up some time, and then we will wrap up this episode and head down into the mines next episode. So let's go to sleep real quick. That way we are not being harassed by these crazy mobs. Let's put down our bed. So when you sleep in a bed, you set your spawn. I slept in the bed at the village and my spawn was set there, but now that I slept here, you can see in the top left corner under days played, it says respawn point set. It set my spawn point here, but now that I'm destroying the bed, that means that my spawn goes back to where I first joined the world. So you want to be wary of that in case you do die. Let's try to make sure that you have your spawn set somewhere safe, or at least try to kind of safeten up the world spawn. Sometimes I like to make my house near the world spawn, just so that like if I die without a bed, I'm safe. But I'm not a noob anymore. I'm pretty decent at this game, I would say. So I don't really have to worry about that anymore. Plus, once you get good at navigation, it's kind of a pinch. The difficult part there just becomes having food to eat while you're running around. So let's see if I can find myself a horse on the way back. I'm gonna leave an empty slot so I can try to tame a horse with that, but I do not see the horse I saw here earlier. Sometimes the mobs around you, they'll despawn. Like if you walk out of the area, they'll despawn and then you kind of lose them. So I was hoping one would spawn, but I guess not. Let's just make our way back to the house, see what we can find on the way back. There's little fishies in the ocean. These are pretty useful sometimes if you don't, they're so hard to kill. If you don't have food, you can just like jump in the river and you can manually kill these guys. And you can also use these to tame cats, which I honestly really recommend. This guy right here, this is a drowned. It's like a zombie variant, but like these spawn in the water. If you have a zombie that you leave in the water for a while, that will convert to a drowned. So just different variants, different styles. Let's see if my bird, yes, thank you, bird. Okay, let's start heading back. from here. Pretty sure I remember the way. Alright. I did want to start setting up like a cow pen or something like that, but I'm just gonna wait until I move all my materials over here. That way I don't have to make two. Let's keep running. If there's anything that you guys want me to see, the viewers, if you want me to explain anything, feel free to leave that down in the comments, and I would be happy to go over that for you. I really like this game, but one thing that I like more than playing this game is teaching new players how to play this game. I feel like it always gives you a bit of a new sight from what you're used to. Let's try to kill some of these guys on the way so I can get some cats. I usually, to kill these guys, I just spam my sword. I know it might not be the best, but that's all I got. And I ran out of air. As you see, there's bubbles above my ham bones. It kind of went away, but there they are again. When those run out, that means that you're out of air. Those will come up when you're like underwater. So while you're underwater, just pay attention to that. And they used to, like when I used to play Java a long time ago, the water bubbles, they would all just regenerate when the moment you stuck your head out. But nowadays, you have to kind of be out of the water for a bit and let them come back. There are enchantments that help you with that, and we'll go over that at a later date. But for now, let's just try not to drown ourselves. And look, there's another bluebird over there. I do not think mine traveled with me. If you see me throw down blocks, that's probably me just trying to change the camera view like this. But I'm not used to doing that because I normally don't look at myself. So just food for thought. Let's make our way back. This is kind of a different way than I came. So I don't really know how to traverse this area. This is where a water bucket would come in handy. I can just throw my water up there and then swim to the top. Makes it a little bit easier, especially if I don't have blocks to build my way up. And here are the pandas. So we are almost home. Oh, and there's a wolf and a horse. Okay, let's teach you how to tame a horse. So, in order to tame a horse, you gotta walk up to it with an open hand. I think you might actually be able to do it just like this now. Yeah, cool. You used to have an open hand, and wow, you didn't buck me off. So sometimes the horses they'll kick you off, and you'll have to try again. But this guy, I guess he was born to ride. So when you sit on the horse, you can open up your inventory, and that'll show the horse saddle slot and the armor slot. Oh, and I completely forgot. I actually have both armor. So I got this guy all suited up. Let's see. He looks good. He looks good. The different horses have different stats. Like some horses, I don't remember if it's the black or the white ones. Some horses have more health. Some horses they're faster. Some horses jump higher. But you can breed the horses to get the different stats. If you want like a certain color that's like really fast, that has a lot of health and jumps high, you can breed the horses and get to that point. But we probably won't do that anytime soon. I don't normally use horses. I just thought, new players, I'll show you the ropes. Okay, so I am going to move these one up so I can add another chest. And I think I hear little baby Arrio in the back waking up. Let me check on him. And he is still fast asleep. And that's good for us because we can keep going for a little longer. All right, let's get a little bit more wood. I want to make 2 chests, a double wide. So as you saw, you can only do 1 chest that has 3 rows of 9 slots. It's not necessarily the most useful, but if you're first starting out, that's pretty helpful because you don't have many things. But if you just place another chest next to it, it'll open up a double wide, which becomes twice the space. 6 slots of 9 spaces. So I'm going to take all of the solid blocks and put those into 1 space. That's normally what I do at first. And then I'll leave all the non-solid blocks in 1 slot. I am going to leave the pumpkins in this one because I like to keep like the farming stuff near each other. But I am going to take the... Here, actually, let me throw some of this in here. This. I'm going to keep this on me because I'm going to try to tame a cat. But we'll put this up here, and we'll put this up here. Let's just kind of throw everything here. I did not need to get rid of my bread. Let's get that bread. But I am going to toss everything else in here. I'm usually a lot more organized, but for the first couple of episodes, I thought I would play with my controller just so that I can kind of show you what your gameplay will look like. But after a while, I am going to switch to the keyboard and mouse because that makes me feel so much better. Okay, so we should be good with that. Let's look in here for anything. No, I think for now... Oh, this is what I was looking for. Okay, so... What? We should be good. I think there's a wandering trader outside of here. Yep. I just want to make sure he wasn't stealing my horse because I saw that lead come through the wall. And look, here are slime balls. These are the slime balls that I was mentioning earlier. These are pretty useful for redstone stuff. Or I think kind of just redstone. You can make slime blocks and those can be fun, but I usually use that kind of stuff for redstone. What are these guys? Leather worker, thought so. Okay. Yeah, so I have got all of that set. Now I'm gonna try to tame this cat real quick. And the cats like to run away, so what I do is I'll crouch near them and they'll usually walk up to you. But if you move, they get skittish. If you walk up to them while crouched though, they're usually pretty calm. I say usually because it never works out. But, okay. If you do manage to tame one, there we go. These guys are the perfect creeper defense. So I'm gonna put this guy by my house, just so that if a creeper tries to come to my front door or follow me home, he will not want to come near my house. Let's put that guy right by the door. So if you click the use button on them, they'll sit like that. I'm not gonna do it right now because I don't want him to get up. But you can do that with the pets, like the dogs, the cats, and the parrots. My parrot, speaking of which, is nowhere to be seen. But I do see another cat, so I'm gonna sleep real quick. I'm gonna get rid of the night. And then I am gonna try to tame that gatito. Let's go. So let's try to find him and crouch and entice him with this. No, I don't see him up there. I also don't want to go up there. Oh, yeah, he's right there. Of course, he's right by the skeletons. Makes me do some hard work. Hey, gatito. Okay, I think I might have to take on some of those skeletons first. So these guys are pretty annoying, but one cool thing that I like to do is make one shoot the other, and then they'll start fighting each other. Then they can weaken themselves and I can just take their loot. Awesome. I got this guy first try. I'm gonna make him follow me. Let's see which one of these guys dies first. Ooh. Took all of Moe's wings. Took all of Moe's wings. Let's get that bone. And this bone. With the bones, you can do many different things. Since we're talking about pets, one thing that you can do with bones is you can tame dogs. The dogs, they're not necessarily the same kind of useful as cats. Dogs don't really like scare anything away, but if you have a dog and something attacks you, the dog will turn hostile towards what attacked you. So that's pretty useful, especially if you have like 20 dogs. But for now, we just got these cats, and I wanted to show you, if you get 2 cats, you can feed each cat fish and then make one stand up, and you can breed the cats. You don't have to breed them sitting down. I just like to, because cats like to run. And with that, you get a baby cat. And the baby mobs are so cute. They put an update out recently too that makes the baby mobs like have the just single pixel eyes, and they are so adorable. But with this, I can put cats all over this village, and the creepers will be sure to stay away. Now, I did say before that I wasn't going to kill the iron golem, but I do think that I am going to kill him so that I can get the iron from him. If he dies to mobs, he will drop the iron, but I might not be around to pick it up. So I am just going to clear off this tree. Let's see. You gotta make sure you do it in a space where like he can't climb something to come get you. So I am going to do... Let's wait for him to move away a bit so I feel more confident. Now he's coming back. He knows what we're gonna do. Here. I think I'm just going to hit him and run away down there. Let's see. Okay, let's get a bit away from everything. Let's come over here. And then I'm gonna build 3 blocks high. Hopefully, I'm not wrong. Hopefully another update hasn't come out. Perfect, yeah. So he's mad at me right now. That's okay. Let's just use our sword and we'll finish him off. This is a way that speedrunners get their iron really fast, but I'm just going to do this so that his iron does not go to waste. I've been sleeping a lot. As you see on the top left hand side, it says days played 7. So I don't necessarily need a iron golem to protect me, but you know, I do need that iron. So I think with that, well, I am going to cap off this episode. Next episode, we can use the iron that we just got from the iron golem to make some equipment to find our way into those scary mines back there. We will hopefully get a lot of materials and maybe even some diamonds. That would be pretty cool. First diamonds on episode 3. But for now, I think we are good to go. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe, and if someone needs help playing Minecraft, feel free to share this with them. Thank you guys. Bye bye.